Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to Baldr Sky, Dive 1. You know the drill, I just came back from the gym and ate some food. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Yesterday I was kinda like cleaning up my PC and all of my like PC accessories because my goodness, a lot of the switches on my keyboard were kind of messing up. That's why if you guys on Patreon have been noticing, sometimes I would have like non-capitalized words, and then sometimes I would have multiple like characters being like said or being typed without me needing to or wanting to. Like when I type like an M or a C or something, sometimes it would be very difficult for me to do so. And when I type like a U, when I like press the keyboard U on my keyboard, it actually triggers like so many times. But yeah, so I cleaned my keyboard. I replaced the key switches that I thought weren't like serviceable anymore, because thankfully my keyboard is hot swappable. So if you guys don't know what that means, it's basically if there's a single key that's fucked up, you can just like get it out and switch it with a different key. I mean, most keyboards are pretty much kinda hot swappable, but well, not really hot swappable, but you can service those keyboards. But you have to like open the back, and then after that you have to desolder them and resolder them. So like having a hot swappable PCB is just way easier. But yeah, I guess I'm kind of rambling here. You guys that are not into keyboard probably wouldn't really be caring about what I'm saying there. But let's talk about the last episode recap. So in the last episode, we actually finished up 2 chapters. We finished up the NPC chapter, and also we finished up the mine hack chapter. The NPC chapter was not really that much left. We basically talk about the fact that Ku was that NPC we saw. Or we kind of wanted to know whether or not Ku was the NPC we saw, right? And turns out it wasn't. What else happened there? I actually kind of forgot. I think we were also questioning about how, like, Sora was or maybe that was in chapter 6. No, I think that was in chapter 5. We were questioning about why Sora was the model for Ku, right? And yeah, we basically got to know Sora a bit more. We got to know Makoto a bit more. And yeah, it was basically just in a more introduction towards Makoto and Sora for the end of that chapter 5. In chapter 6, we got introduced to this thing called the mine hack, which is, I still have no idea how you get mine hack, to be honest. Like, they said it was kind of like using their access point in their bodies to mine hack people, but I thought that you have to have a physical contact with them, but no, it doesn't seem like you do. I don't understand how it works then. Yeah, I really don't understand how the mine hack works. It seems like there's a route towards the access point that you go into. Because, like, the way I'm thinking of the mine hack is like this, guys. Let's say that you were connected to a Wi-Fi that's in a public space, right? Let's say it's a cafe. Let's say it's Starbucks or whatever. If you were in contact with the router itself, then yes, you can probably trace where your phone is, right? So if you have the full control of the router, then yes, you can probably hack like someone's phone by doing so. But in terms of a mine hack, like, we're always 24% connected to the internet. Like, I was thinking about how a brain chip is like a SIM card, right? But a SIM card, it connects to the internet via its own like tower. Like, depending on the like provider that you have, they have their towers, right? And unless that you were the provider of that specific SIM card, there's no way that you're able to mine hack people that are connected to, just that SIM card. So I still don't understand just how a mine hack is able to be done, basically. Unless you are one of the controllers of, the providers, as I said. So yeah, but yeah, we learned about the mine hack. We also got to see Nanoha again, but she was kinda not really saying anything about the fact that I guess it's not the fact that, but she might know Rain from her body language. At least that's my current theory. But she doesn't want to say anything about it. She was also saying about how she wants to find a new person and that, you know, like we already found someone, blah blah blah. Even though I don't really understand why that is. Like, people seem to say that we're close to Rain, but I don't know. So far, I still don't feel like we're that close to Rain. But they seem to be making that conclusion. And I'm guessing that's the reason why Nanoha was saying that, right? Because she saw that we were close to Rain and she wanted to find someone else. And what else? We also found this Yoneuchi, I believe that's the name. One of the counselors that are connected to the Drexler Institute. There were 12 after we analyzed the data from that Eddie guy who died, the information broker. And he was one of them. And he was making a speech, or what do you call those? Like a political campaign. And he was saying about how like AI is bad. We should really be taking care or taking a look at the real world, blah blah blah, right? And after that, he actually got mind-hacked and got killed. And there were a couple of people who said it was the alienist that actually did so. But turns out we saw the assassin, and it was Gilberto. And that is the guy that we saw in the Hosho flashback. And we got into a fight with him in a tournament back then. But yeah, this is exactly after that situation. And we also like logged out. And Rain was in trouble because she was kind of getting cornered by the crowd that were basically anti-AI. After the whole, like, you know, like situation, it turned into a riot. That was actually quite a long last episode recap. But yeah, I do think I basically told you guys all you need to know about the last episode. The reason why we got into this riot in the first place too is because we went outside of Arval City, I think. Arval City, because we got called by Noi to get to see her because she wants to see how we're doing. Because technically, we are still her patient. VTOLs are flying above us like hornets, blaring warnings like that one. I simultaneously hear gunshots and an uncomfortable silence. Rain's covering the injury in her forehead with a handkerchief. But yeah, I really like the fact that, as I said, like the flashback in the previous episode was instantaneously just giving us information about what we need to know about the current present. That is nice. It's not filler, it's just instant.
大丈夫か、レイン。
かすり傷です。ご心配なく。診療所までたどり着けば手当てしてもらえるでしょうし。
Why don't we have any nanomachines with us, you know? Like in the black market that we went into, the nanomachine that were sold there were healing nanomachines and something else, a support one, right? Why don't we have nanomachines with us anyway? I get that they're expensive, but we're fucking mercenaries. I feel like we're pretty much, you know, we should have those in case of an emergency. Suddenly, footsteps resound through the streets. Or maybe this, like, wound is not serious enough to use those things. Maybe we do have some, I don't know. The panicking riders rush towards us. At that moment, we're caught in a wave of people. It's like a tsunami of riders. I can't see her anywhere. I only see the faces and backs of scared people. I step on something soft, and it makes a chill go down my spine. Falling here would mean getting trampled. Doing my best to keep standing, I swim through the wave of people. Once out of it, I take a deep breath of the cleaner air. The wave left behind only a few people, some of which were running around, while others were lying on the road. I stumble about, checking every dead body. I run into someone. It scares me, and I quickly brace myself. But then I'm filled by another kind of surprise. The woman before me makes me lose my words. Chinatsu? 0629, what is that? She also opens her eyes wide. She's wearing a long coat, her face is fair, and there's a long ponytail trailing behind her.
千夏
Her name escapes my mouth. She stares at me dumbfounded as her mouth shivers.
千夏なんだろ俺だよ俺門倉こうだよ
She's probably part of the anti-AI faction co. My heart is filled with joy. I actually met her again. I walk up to put my hand on her shoulder.
もちろん覚えているよ。
She dodges my hand. It almost feels like she hates me.
すまんつい
久しぶりだね。私も嬉しいよ。
She looks at her fingernails and talks in a flat voice, as if trying to hide her emotion.
嬉しいけど、今はのんきにおしゃべりしてる場合じゃないよ。こう
She points at the sky with her chin. There's a CDF VTOL hovering above.
警告武装解除しなさい銃器を装備している者は無警告で射殺します
Gunshots, followed by explosions and screams a few blocks down.
じゃあまたね。
Chinatsu turns around and runs off without even giving me another look. Not finding what to say, I just watch her leave.
くし
I switch my focus and hurry over to Noise Clinic. Classmates? Why would the name of the chapter be classmates?
さあ何を恥ずかしがっている傷の手当てをしてやるから早く服を脱ぎたまえいえですから体には怪我がないと素人判断はやめた方がいいいいかね私は医者なんだぞ
From outside the room, I see Noi grinning as she tries to undo the buttons on Rain's clothes. I sigh and knock on the open door.
あ、コウさん見たまえ彼が来てしまったではないか
俺が来る前に何をするつもりだったんですか
子供は知らなくていいことだよ少年
ご無事でしたか、コウさん。
なあレインこそ無事でよかった
Man, I do like the fact that this game, even though it has the anime shenanigans where they try to kinda like downplay the seriousness of what's going on. I talk about this quite often, but for some reason Japanese media is a media, or the type of narrative that they do is that sometimes when there's a serious story, they always have some sort of comedic thing to lighten up the mood, which I don't really appreciate at times. Especially when the lightening up the mood thing, you know, gets a bit excessive and it just derails the conversation for a long amount of time, you know. But in this one, yeah, there's a couple of sentences, but that's about it. And after that, they jump back to the serious stuff. I appreciate that. Not a lot of Japanese media actually do this. It looks like Noi checked out her wound. If I strain my eyes, I can vaguely see a skin-colored derm on her forehead. What's a derm? Seeing her face fills me with relief. The fatigue from all that running in the riot attacks me all at once, making me collapse into a chair.
災難だったなこれに懲りて政治集会など近寄らぬことをお勧めするよ
That's actually true. I'd be careful next time. Noi takes out some derms from a first aid kit and starts applying them to my wounds. What's a derm? Is it like some sort of bandage?
暴動が頻発しているというのは本当なんですね
シティは常に緊張状態ちょっとしたショックですぐに臨界点を超えてしまう
She reaches up to try to apply a derm to my forehead, but she's too short to reach it. Maybe it's antiseptic? Is that what a derm is?
末期状態なんだなこの街は
I sigh and lower my head, letting her reach my forehead and apply the derm. It's cold, but it quickly starts dampening the pain. Man, so much happened here. Yoneuchi's speech. Okay, I did get that guy's name correctly. Assassination, the unpleasant reunion with Gilbert, the riot, and finally, the meeting with Chinatsu. Unwittingly, I look at Noi's face.
どうした私の顔に見とれているのか
Though she may look young, she knows a lot about what goes on behind the scenes.
いえ先生 米内議員が暗殺されたのをご存知ですか？
ああ、速報でした。何やらスキャンダルを告発しようとした直後、ドミニオンに暗殺されたらしいじゃないか。
What's Dominion again? Assassinated by Dominion. So that's what they're saying on the news.
米内議員が暴露しようとしていたスキャンダルって一体誰のどんなスキャンダルだったんでしょう？
Was Dominion the faction that was for AI? You know, the guy who was pro AI? I forgot the other guy's name. That was supposedly, you know, it's one of those 12 counselor guys.
もしも告発の相手
Oh yeah, there you go.
が
Anon.
吉尾市長だとすれば、何を告発されても不思議はないな。
She grins bitterly.
アナン市長は以前からエッジ企業との癒着や贈賄についていろいろ噂されていましたから。
Rain chimes in with an explanation.
つまり灰色政治家ってわけか。
絵に描いたような灰色だよ。もっとも彼の無節操な企業優遇のおかげでシティの経済発展がもたらされたのも否定できない。
だからこそ過去何度も告発を受けながらも有罪にならず市長の席に座り続けていられるのです。
You know, I'm kind of surprised that this episode my controller didn't double click the first line that we did. I was mentioning it a lot a couple of episodes back, right, about how it always double clicks.
なるほどね。
Weird. So, was today's assassination just another case of a corrupt politician trying to hide something? If that's the case, it probably has little to do with my situation. But something about it doesn't feel right. As I said, they're trying to corner the pro-AI faction, Ko. Gilbert is not someone who's pro-AI, and he was the one that actually killed Yoneuchi. I think this is actually a ploy. Like, maybe Yoneuchi himself didn't know that he was gonna get killed, but this is probably a ploy from someone even higher up in the anti-AI faction.
まあそれでもアナンが今の状況に焦りを感じているのは確かだろうな。
Exactly. It actually makes him very suspicious. But because of that, you would try to think, right, if it was really his faction that was assassinating Yoneuchi. He's not that dumb.
焦りと言いますと。
ゴートのシティ駐留が始まったのだよ。
What the fuck is GOAT? This game really needs a freaking encyclopedia, bro. What the fuck is GOAT?
ゴートですか。
Thank you, Ko.
ゴート、統合軍対 AI 対策班のことですよ。
Okay.
暴走する AI に対抗するために同合が編成したネット部隊。昨年よりそのゴートの軍隊がシティに駐留することになったのだ。
So what does rogue AI mean in this case?
統合軍が駐留。その目的は？
名目上はシティのネット内外でのブラックマーケットを取り締まる。だがその本意は誰も知らん。
シティは違法なナノバイオ物質の供給源の一つとしてたびたび統合から非難をされてきましたし、
肝心なのはゴートは現市長のアナン一派とは対立していて、そのこともあり米内一派を公に支援していることだ。
つまり米内議員は追い風に乗ってスキャンダルを公表し、一気にアナン一派を失墜させようとしていた。
そしてアナンはアナンで性的の米内が統合軍の後押しで力を得るのを恐れていたと。
I feel like we're going in the wrong direction with this way of thinking. I do feel that my theory about how the anti-AI team was actually the one that planned the assassination makes a lot more sense. I don't think Anon knew anything about this.
そうだ。おかげで市議会も AI 派と反 AI 派の派閥に分かれて構想中だ。
しかしありきたりなスキャンダルを米内議員があそこまで勢い込んで、しかもあんな形で告発したりするものでしょうか。
Because it was probably a lie.
仮にアナン市長の告発をしても、彼ならば贈賄程度の事件ならば部下に責任をなすりつけて生き延びることができそうですし。
暗殺をする必要はないか。確かに汚職が発覚するより暗殺計画が露呈する方がはるかに致命的だろうしな。
Does he have a secret bad enough to drive him to do something so extreme?
さて、固い話はそれぐらいにして、そろそろ診察を始めようか。
Oh, I almost forgot about that.
じゃあ先生、よろしくお願いします。
よし、いい返事だ。 では早速全裸になってそこに履いたまえ。
え？
何を恥ずかしがっている？いいかね、私は医者なんだぞ。
処置って記憶素行処置じゃなかったんですか？
Okay, they actually went back to the stupid dialogue. I hope this doesn't go too long. I was praising you for a bit, game, but my goodness, Japanese media, they need to stop this garbage.
今日は君の体を精密検査する。ナノマシンの影響が余計なところに出ていないかチェックしておきたいしな。
しかし、なんで全裸？
I slowly get up from the chair.
勘違いをするな。これは純粋な医療目的であってな。いいからさっさと脱がんか。脱げ、うつ伏せ寝で気をつけ。尻高く上げ。
いえ、結構ですから。
As I try to run, Noi tackles me and clings to my body like a koala.
ちょっと先生、離れて。
包丁際の悪いやつだ。レイ、手伝ってくれ。私が手伝うのですか？当然だ。君も部下なら彼の裸など見慣れているだろう。
Did the game crash? I think the game crashed, guys. What's going on? Yeah, the game crashed. Okay. Hello, we are back. Okay, I actually have absolutely no idea what happened. But I restarted and it seems my OBS might have been the cause of the crash. Because when I started the recording, it said that my NVENC settings, which is like an NVIDIA encoder thing, wasn't working, so... Yeah, I restarted the PC, and I guess I restarted OBS, but hopefully nothing goes on here, or, you know, nothing wrong is happening anymore. It's really weird. I guess I'm gonna have to save a lot more often.
ちょっと先生、離れて。
包丁際の悪いやつだ。レイ、手伝ってくれ。
Yeah.
私が手伝うのですか？
当然だ。君も部下なら彼の裸など見慣れているだろう。
There we go. So I actually had to use the control skip here for the text because for some it always does that. When you like have a game crash, it always doesn't really know that you've already been to a specific point in the game. That's why I have to enable all text instead of text that I've already seen them. But yeah, there we go.
そんなわけありません。
Rain turns beet red and looks away. That's so innocent that I can't help but stare. The next moment, I feel a jet injector in my neck. Following the sound of the jet, all power is drained from my body.
余計な手間をかけさせおって。
先生、せめてレインを退出させてくれませんか？
仕方がないな、君は。わかった。レイン、ちょっと部屋から出ていてくれ。
はい。
Rain runs out of the room and Noi begins examining me. Is it really that embarrassing to, you know, get your body checked out naked? By the time the examination ends, it's evening.
よし、全身とも異常なし。君は見事な健康体だ。
そりゃ、どうもありがとうございました。
There about that go? Tortured by a sense of emptiness, I put on my clothes. That felt less like an examination and more like a weird sexual activity.
まったく、君は子供か？泌尿器検査や肛門検診でいちいち悲鳴を上げおって。
Wait, what?
軍隊でも定期検診ぐらい受けただろう。
What does a prostate exam mean? Did you like poke something in my butt?
すみません。何分記憶がないもので。
I forgot all of that, but I'm certain that army doctors aren't fake little girls like her. At that moment, Rain fearfully returns to the room.
ああ、ちょうど今診察が終わったところだ。もう今日は連れて帰っても結構。
Dragging her lap coat behind her, Noi disappears into the other room. She didn't tell us about anything weird, but... Huh. I don't really trust Noi all that much, guys.
さて、コウさん、どうします？アーク本社に戻りますか？
I feel like she actually forced us to go here and then didn't really even like tell us if there was anything wrong with us.
もうこんな時間だしな。セキュリティの問題もあるだろうし、難しいんじゃないか。
Also, right now, I want to get some food in me and rest my body in a decent bed.
となると行くところは一つしかありませんね。
In the end, we returned to the usual hotel. This is a decent bed.
コウさん、食事の用意ができました。
On the table, I see some open cans, ready-made soup, and some hardtack. What's a hardtack?
すみません、こんなものしか用意できなくて。
いいさ。オートミールより数段マシさ。
On an empty stomach, even some questionable canned meat and overheated soup is delicious. I can feel the nutrients shake my body. The sensation is something you can't gain even at a virtual fine dining. Rain is silently eating her canned meat. I mean, canned tuna is delicious if you just have, you know, like mayo.
どうかしましたか？
I eat tuna salad quite often. Tuna salads, tuna sandwich, you know.
いや、今日の缶詰はうまいなと思って。
本当の鶏のお肉らしいです。闇市で仕入れたので、真偽のほどは定かじゃありませんが。
Yeah, I don't know about eating canned chicken though. That's kind of weird.
まあ、原材料は知らぬが仏ってやつなんだろうな。
I don't think I've actually ever eaten canned chicken. I've eaten like corned beef, and that's canned, canned cow, right? Beef. But chicken? I don't think I've ever eaten a canned chicken.
そうですね。
Rain's eating the meat using a knife and fork, and she seems pretty skilled at it. It's very refined, showing that she's high class.
なあ、レイン。レインのことをいろいろ教えてくれないかな。
It made me want to get to know her better.
ええ、構いませんよ。
She wipes her mouth with a napkin and gives me the usual smile.
霧島レイン、女、血液型 AB。年齢はコウさんと同い年。誕生日は7月24日の獅子座で。
いや、そういうのじゃなくて。
Wait, we're the same age. All this time I thought she was older. Wait, that's just because my consciousness is stuck in my school years.
もっと違ったことをお知りになりたいんですか？
いや、そうでもなくてだね。決してやましい意味ではなく。
After thinking of nonsensical questions like, are those D cups, I eventually come across a decent subject.
レインは確か宝生の出身だったよな。
ええ。
だったらレインももしかして。
私はデザイナーズチャイルドではありませんよ。
She understands my question and answers with a smile on her face.
そうか。ごめんな、つい。でも宝生といえばデザイナーズチャイルドの印象が強くて。
仕方がありません。実際学園の主役はデザイナーズチャイルドたちでしたから。
Are most people in Hosho designer children? She becomes a bit gloomy.
人数に占める割合は3分の1から4分の1であっても、一般学生はどこか肩身の狭い思いをしていましたから。
Okay, a third or a fourth. That's quite a decent chunk. I'm also gonna save my game, just because. I'm curious about what her school life was like, but it's hard to ask when she's making that face. I'll just change the subject.
でも昔から不思議だったんだよな。古風で保守的な宝生にどうしてデザイナーズチャイルドが多いのかって。
古風で保守的だからこそ遺伝子操作された改良人種に親たちが飛びついたのだと思います。
But it's probably not it's not from humans, right? It's gotta be with the help of AI. At least the technology of AI.
改良人種ね。
I find it very difficult to believe that, yeah, humans are able to genetically manipulate themselves without the help of, AI. Gilbert's face comes to mind. The guy can't say two sentences without mentioning that he's superior.
彼らの理想は牧歌的な19世紀から21世紀初頭の生活様式。まだ人間が世界の主役だった時代です。
The protagonists of the planet. So you're saying we're not the protagonists anymore? Is it AI now? And talking about Gilbert, guys, I actually don't mind the fact that he's an arrogant prick. See, I'm one of those guys who think that if you are actually, like superior to everyone else, then you should probably be able to, or You kind of have the right to be a bit arrogant, but that only applies if you actually put in hard work to get to where you are, right? He's a designer children, so he didn't really put any hard work in doing what he's doing. He just got born lucky. And the fact that he's arrogant because he got born lucky, to me, is pretty dumb. But, like, being arrogant itself, in my opinion, is nothing to be ashamed of. Because I am a pretty arrogant person myself. But I know for a fact that I probably put in a lot more effort than the average person in the things that I do.
デザイナーズチャイルドは AI に対して主役の座を取り戻そうとするせめてもの花火なのかもしれません。
It might sound standoffish, but I really do think so.
AI が世界の主役なんて思ったことはないけどな。
反 AI の人ほど AI に世界の主役を奪われたと思っているらしいですよ。
I hear that the more anti-AI people believe that without question. Rain makes a bitter smile.
それで法相の連中はうちを目の敵にしてたのか。
彼らにとって青春は疎ましい存在だったと思います。スポーツなどの一部を除けば実績で青春に負けっぱなしでしたし、ましてやエリート意識の強いデザイナーズチャイルドと世間知らずの金持ちの子供の集団なのですから。
Yeah, being a designer children is pretty stupid. They act elitist, but the fact that they act elitist from, not their own effort, I feel like that's just stupid. She makes a bitter face now. She really didn't like the school she went to.
でもレインは偉いよ。AI にも偏見を持ってないし、法相出身のお嬢様なのに全然高慢さとかを感じないし。
I try helping her out with those words, but I don't feel like I did a good job.
私も昔は世間知らずの箱入り娘だったんですよ。
Even so, she smiles at me.
それに確かに家も裕福な部類には入りますが、富豪とは程遠い程度のものでしたし。
なるほどね。実家の職業を聞いてもいいかい？
父は東郷軍の将校でした。
そりゃすごい。エリート中のエリートだったんじゃないか。
I'm an officer myself, but a mere merc simulacrum pilot like me is nothing compared to a GU soldier. In fact, I find it weird that the daughter of such an elite person is living with me.
私、本当は青州学園を志望していたんです。
Yes, you did mention that. Rain speaks up again. The fact that she is telling us about her history and her past, I don't know whether or not this is a red herring, trying to make me believe that she's an actual person and not Ku herself. I am still very adamant about the fact that Rain might be Ku, guys. I don't know why, as I said. It's weird. For some reason, I just want to believe that.
前もそんなことを言ってたな。確か親に反対されたんだっけ？
ええ。
残念だな。レインと学園生時代に知り合っていたらきっといい友達になれたんだろうな。
She falls silent. The way she tilts her face makes her look sad.
すまない。何か気に障ることを言っちゃったかな。
いえ、コウさんは何も悪くありません。けど昔のことを思い出してしまって。
She wipes her eyes and bites her lip. She's holding back her emotions, which makes it even harder to look at her. It's not the first time either, and honestly, I wish she'd let it out. She had let it out for once.
よかったら聞かせて。話せば少しは楽になる。俺もレインに話を聞いてもらっていろいろ助けてもらったし。もちろん気が向いたらでいいんだけど。
Did I pry too deep?
私のたった一人の親友が青州に通っていたんです。
Rain slowly begins speaking.
青州に親友がいたのか。
素敵なセカンドの女の子でした。明るくて屈託がなくて、そのくせ優しくて。
Is it Sora?
彼女みたいになりたいと私はいつも思っていました。
その子は今。
彼女は灰色のクリスマスを乗り切れませんでした。
そうか。
Rain falls silent and I can't find what to say. Rain lost her friend during Great Christmas. Maybe that's the reason why she threw herself into battle.
私が代わりになりたかった。
レイン。
私なんて生きていてもどうしようもなかったのに、あの子には友達もたくさんいて、夢も希望もいっぱいあったのに。
Face reality though. She's dead and you're the one that's alive. You can't change that. Her voice is shaking with wild emotions, and she's doing her best to keep them in check.
どうしてあの子が。
I mean, this is an emotion that I probably wouldn't be able to understand, guys. I don't feel like I love anyone other than myself. I mean, I like people, of course. I like my family, but I wouldn't really think that I would like want to switch places with, say, if my sister was the one that died or something. I don't think I would ever say that. Is there any way for me to help her with that?
レイン
I put my hands on her shoulders. Her open eyes are full of tears, and she's looking at me with surprise. Once the surprise fades, it's replaced by grief.
注意。
Rain clings to me with such force that I fall backwards. Our chests are touching. Her weight seems very precious.
レイン
I gently bring her closer to me.
注意。
I hope this doesn't lead to an H scene. She entrusts herself to me and rubs her teary cheek against mine. Her golden hair tickles me as I gently pat her head.
いいんだ泣いていいよレイン
Yeah, comforting her like in this way is fine, but I feel like sometimes when people wanted to get comfort like with sexual favors and stuff, it's a bit, you know, it's a bad habit. Hiding her sobs, she shakes her head. Her tears stop as if jammed. It seems like she can't cry. She probably doesn't know how to. Even so, she doesn't let go of my body. What do you mean her tears are jammed? She's clearly crying under Sprite.
わかった俺没入してくるよしばらく没入して寝てくるその間俺の体は枕代わりにでも使ってくれ
What, does she not want us to see her like that? Is that the reason why her tears are stopping? After a brief pause, Rain nods. Still embracing her arms, I initiate the dive process. As I feel the warmth within my arms, my consciousness is dragged off into the emptiness. My soul now wanders the net space. Not knowing where to go, I arrive at Arville City. See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. I feel like it's so weird the fact that we can just go here from the internet from the outside area. I get it, it's connected, but isn't there like procedures that we have to like, I don't know. Maybe our name is pretty high up in the list of people of priority in this space that we can just instantly access it from the outside. I don't know. It's so weird to me that we can just go to this space without needing to be in the Arc Industries territory. Kisaragi dorm is quiet and feels really barren.
さすがに秋姉は寝ているだろうな
I don't want to just waltz in there, so I just put my back against the wall and crouch. If I remember correctly, this is how Makoto was crouching when I first met her. It's not raining this time though, and I won't get a cold. Dozing off, I look at the virtual night sky. Doing that alone makes me feel strangely nostalgic and sad. The people I met, the people I was reunited with, the people who should have been somewhere, the people I left behind, this and that person. What are they up to now? What do you think, Rain? I hear something walk in the nearby grass.
秋姉
I look around and see no one. There's an NPC girl a short distance away, but that's it.
こんな時間でも律儀に巡回してるんだな
Slightly impressed, I rub my eyes. When I open them again, the NPC is gone.
もう寝るか
Giving in to my drowsiness, I close my eyes. As my consciousness fades, flashes of light starts dancing in my head and melt into my memory. Flashback time? Mm-hmm.
先生、ありがとうございました。 危ないところを助けてもらって。
Sorry about that, Chinatsu. After the long battle, we thank Mr. Kurihara.
気にしなくてもいい。君たちは私の大事な後輩、かつ学生たちだからな。
The fact that even Chinatsu shows respect to him makes me kinda happy.
ああ、すまん。呼び出しがかかった。私はそろそろ失礼するよ。
He raises his hand and vanishes.
さて、俺たちも離脱すっか。
I'm gonna save my game again. I learned my lesson.
あ
あ、ちょっと待って。
Chinatsu holds me by my arm.
じゃ、先に行ってるからな。
Masa vanishes, leaving just me and Chinatsu. This feels kinda awkward.
とんでもないやつだったね。宝生のジルベルトとかいう男。
まったくだな。困った野郎に目をつけられたもんだ。
Looking at Chinatsu's face reminds me of the pain in her expression and voice. If there wasn't a limiter on, Gilbert could have easily done something terrible to her. And I can't ignore the fact that I was the one who dragged her into this.
なあ、千夏。もうあんな痛い目に遭いたくないんじゃないのか。
I'm thinking of suggesting that she quit the tourney.
どうなんだろうね。確かに痛いのはコリゴリだとも思うんだけど。
She sighs, looks at me, and gives me a bitter smile.
だけど私、負けず嫌いでさ。特に女だからってバカにするやつには絶対に負けたくないんだよね。
うん。千夏はきっとそうだろうな。
だから怖いけどやめたくない。だってここでやめたらあいつらにもう勝てないから。
千夏。
我ながら負けず嫌いっていうのか、マゾなのかもしれないね。
She grins, filling my heart with warmth. She's intent on fighting despite what she went through.
それにさ、こう戦ってくれたじゃん。私のために。私、誰かにかばわれるなんてまっぴらとか思ってたはずなんだけどさ。だからかばわれてジーンとしちゃうなんて思わなかった。しかもこれで2回目だもんね。
いや、でも俺はお前
What do you mean a second time? I couldn't protect you, and yet.
ありがとう。
Chinatsu puts her hands on my shoulders and brings her face so close I can feel her breathing. Something soft and warm touches my cheek. It's her lips. This doesn't last though, and Chinatsu quickly backs away.
初デートの次は初のキスか。私たち順当にステップを踏んでるよね。冗談冗談。相棒にあんまし変なことを期待してるとがっかりするぞ。
Wow, that was a very short flashback. I kind of like that though, as I said, guys, because the flashback is like not as long as it was in the first couple of episodes. Once back in my real body, I first feel the warmth embracing me, and the smell of skin tickling my nose. Rain's face is right in front of my eyes. She fell asleep while clinging to me. I want to pull us apart, but her hands stop me. I really don't like it when people actually touch me when I sleep. I'm a very light sleeper. Man, if I force it, I'll probably wake her up. My eyes get used to the darkness. Her white cheeks have traces of tears on them, and the edges of her eyes still have a hint of red on them.
あれからずっと泣いてたのかな。
If she got to sleep after crying her eyes out, then...
そっとしておこう。
Feeling her scent, I close my eyes.
願い死なないで。
Her sleep talking makes me open my eyes again.
いや、せっかくなのに死なないで。
Another tear escapes her eye.
好きしてます。
Who is she talking to? I have no idea, but she must be having a nightmare. One about someone she loved and lost. I gently caress her head. As her smooth hair tickles my palm, she sighs in comfort. I hope she can at least stop being so tense when sleeping. As one who knows that she has a sad past, I hope she at least has peaceful dreams.
傷を舐め合う関係か。
I want to believe that we're not just consoling one another. The feeling of something detaching and the rustling of the sheets makes me wake up. Light rains on my closed eyes.
いけない。もうこんな時間。
I listen to her voice and try to go to sleep again. I wanted a bit more sleep. Suddenly, I feel Rain bend down.
ありがとうございます。注意。
I feel something soft and wet touch my cheek. What is it? People and, like, kissing my cheek. The sensation is, like, do people actually like that? I am one of those guys that are kind of weird, I guess. I don't really like physical contact all that much. Unable to confirm it, I continue wandering between sleep and the waking world.
さあ、注意。そろそろ起きてください。
Eventually, Rain shakes me awake. She gives me her usual smile as if nothing happened.
おはようございます、コウさん。
ああ、おはよ
シティ公共放送チャンネルで米内議員暗殺についての情報が配信されました。
An info processing agent program appears before me and inorganically tells me that
最新のニュースがネットに流れたようです。食事の前に注意も確認しておいてください。
they're probably covering the truth, or the not the truth, I guess, what actually
う。
happened.
いや、再生。
先日の米内議員暗殺事件に関して CDF は議員暗殺の実行犯がドミニオン協会のメンバーであると断定。
Okay, Dominion was the Father Gregory cult thing.
これに対し協会側のスポークスマンは事件との関与を否定。悪質な世論操作であると CDF を非難しております。一方、都市中流のゴートは協会拠点捜索のため CDF への協力を惜しまないとの声明を発表しており、
Rain and I start a new day. I mean, that actually is a lot more believable. Well, I guess not really believable. Dominion is part of the pro-AI faction, so... We both arrive at Arvel City. We thought that meeting the others would fix my memory a bit and help me get close to solving the secrets surrounding me.
ようこそアーバルシティへ。
Even though we know the way, there's an NPC escorting us.
なあ、君を作ったのは西野明って人なんだよね。
はい。私のオリジナルデザインはアーク所属の NPC デザイナーである西野女子により開発されました。
君の容姿のデザインにはモデルが存在しているのかい？
残念ながらその質問には答えられません。
Why is that?
NPC の詳細についての質問は広報部にお尋ねください。
I see.
ありがとう。もう行っていいよ。
She lightly bows and walks off.
どうしたんですか、コウさん。あの NPC に何か疑問でも？
大したことじゃないんだけど、あの子にそっくりな女の子が昔学園にいたはずなんだ。
Okay, so Rain's friend might not be Sora because she doesn't really care about the NPC's model.
そうなんですか。
やっぱり変だよな。
いえ、考えてみればそれほど変でもないでしょう。実在の人物をモデルに NPC を作るのは別に珍しいことではありません。
Maybe if they weren't, if they weren't still alive, sure. Rain points at the virtual city. Over there, you can see Napoleon, a 20th century anime character, and a rock star.
実在の偉人、タレントにモデルといった有名人、さらには創作物のキャラクターまで、ありとあらゆる人物で NPC が作成されていますから。
Yes, but those are all people that aren't alive anymore.
それは分かっているんだけどな。有名人じゃないごく普通の人を NPC にすることってあると思うか？
特注でそうした NPC が作られることもあるそうですよ。ただ、大概は失望してすぐに飽きられてしまうそうですが。
特注ね。一体何のためにそんなものを作るのかな。
個人を偲ぶため、あるいは果たせない愛情や憎悪を NPC にぶつけるため。
そりゃどちらもありえないよ。
Exactly. I really don't think that Aki would make an NPC like that.
なあ、 アキネイに直接聞けば済むことか。
Is she still not gonna answer us? Upon entering the dorm, I hear Aki and Nanoha talking on the second floor.
違いますってば。なんで仏像なんだか私の部屋に。仏像バスターになって一体何をしているんでしょうね。
さあ
They're recreating the room. Ren and I take off our shoes and walk up the stairs. Their voices are coming from one of the rooms. If I remember correctly, this one's owned by...
ああ、おかえり。こう来てたんだ。
Before I can remember the room's owner, someone opens the door.
ただいま。二人とも何をしていたんだ？
ちょうどいいところに来た。入って。
It's a clean, orderly room. The scent is familiar, and there are some trees and plush toys here. The memory of this room is coming back to me. But...
怪しげな仏像にマンダラのポスター、キノコの鉢植え。お前の部屋ってこんなにシュールだっけ？
そんなわけないよ。でもアキ先輩のイメージだとこうなんだって。
ナノハはあまり人を部屋に招かなかったからイメージを収束するのは大変。ディテールを確定するには誰かの主観が必要。
つまりこれは誰かさんの主観だけで再現したわけね。
アキ先輩がどんな目で人の部屋を見ていたのかなんとなくわかった。
だから女の子らしい可愛い部屋。
A bit frustrated, she picks up on one of the potted poison mushrooms. Well, Nanoha did have potted plants. Definitely not fungi, though.
こうも手伝って。
Fungi? Fungi? How do you
いいけど
actually say that?
どうすればいいの？
Usually it's like fungus. So fungi, I guess?
じゃあこれを持って。
As I pick up the pot, several dialogue windows open up.
西野亜紀さんよりチップへのリンクが要請されました。
Beyond the transparent windows, Aki makes an impish smile.
私アークのイメージジェネレーターにつながっている。だから私につないで。
分かったよ。じゃあ了承。
So I guess we'll try to like picture, compare the memories we have about this room. The windows suddenly change, making it clear that there's now a peer-to-peer connection between us.
その鉢植えが何だったか思い出して。
Listening to the voice in my head, I lightly close my eyes. I know the contents of this pot. It doesn't look like I'll have any trouble remembering it. A vivid image forms in my brain. It was the early spring day when Nanoha moved into the dorm. Hearing them makes me open my eyes, and I see a white carnation in a pot in my hands.
すごい。まるで魔法みたいだな。
I mean, it's kind of like when you're, making a room in, say, PSO2 or something, right? You're decorating your room.
私ウィザードだから。
I mean, I don't know if you guys really think this is all that unique. If you've played like like MMOs and stuff, this is kind of basic. She smiles proudly and takes the pot away. The memories the flower brought back are making Nanoha tear up.
懐かしいな。ちゃんと庭に植えてあげなくちゃね。
これはちゃんと根付いて成長するのか？
植物用のクラスを移植して継承すれば可能。
つまり花を NPC みたいな自律的な存在にしちゃうってこと？
Yeah, what a pretty amazing virtual space. It adapts to everything that's uploaded into the main database, I guess.
そう。正確に言えば人工生命。
So she took a flower from my memory and can now give it virtual life. Yeah, I can see why programmers like her are called wizards.
そういえばレインさんはどうしたの？
レインなら一緒に。
ここにいますよ。
Rain is watching us from the entrance to the room.
遠慮せずに入ってきなよ。
ダメじゃん、こう。せっかく見つけた彼女なんだからもっと気を使ってあげなくちゃ。
あのな、何度も言わせるなよ。レインは別に。
私とコウさんは戦友、恋人とかそんな関係ではありませんよ。
That's true, but hearing her say that so bluntly makes me kind of sad.
もういいか。ねえ、早速裏庭に行って植えてみない？
賛成。行こう、みんな。
As we go outside, Aki stops in place.
どうしたの？
ごめん、本社から呼び出し。
そっか、行ってらっしゃい。
I just realized that she actually has has glasses hanging, on her neck or on her chest, I guess. She hurries off away from the dorm to a spot from which she can activate the move process. Ah, crap. It just hit me that I had something I had to ask her. Finding out the origin of those NPCs will take a while.
後で話があるから、仕事が済んだら連絡してくれる？
As I call out to her, Aki turns around and waves.
じゃあ始めるね。
Spade in hand, Nanoha starts digging. Spade? Is that a shovel? A hand shovel? Looking around, I see some already planted flowers, recreating part of the original garden.
考えてみれば、こんなことが仮想で再現できるなんてすごいよな。
野菜や果物も育つんだって。しかもちゃんと収穫して食べられるんだって。
Are you gonna be full though after eating those because this is the internet?
仮想の進化もとどまるところを知らないといった感じですね。
Slightly odd, I look at the blooming garden.
そういえばその昔、仮想では死体も残骸も残らなかったらしいな。
ええ、花が摘めるようになる前の時代ですね。
I heard that was how it was like during my old man's childhood, long before the war. Back then, you couldn't pick flowers in VR. Once you tried, the laws of the net would simply abandon them as part of the simulation.
気がつけば花が摘めるようになっていた。その変更がいつどこで始まったのか誰も知らない。 AI がどうしてロジックを変更したのかもわからない。
What do you mean no one knows this? This is such a fucking stupid thing. Everything so far has made sense, but no one knows when this suddenly happened?
多分花を摘みたいという人の願望を AI が叶えてくれたんじゃない？
You're talking as if, well, if AI understands the fact that, people want to pick up flowers and then they adapt to it, doesn't that make it seem like AI might be God in the artificial VR space? I mean, I guess technically they are God, huh, in this space. It's pretty scary to think though, isn't it?
そうだな。人の願望、人の視点は重要らしいからな。
花が摘める一方で誰にも関心を持たれなくなった残骸がひっそりと消えていたりもしますしね。
観測されない物体の状態は特定されないか。なんか量子論みたいな話だよな。
Interesting. All the virtual corpses and remains might be considered the remnants of the will of the people involved with them. That's why the modern net has so many corpses and remains. They might eventually be able to deteriorate and decay, or maybe even host pathogens that spread disease. What? Why would you do that? Why would you program that? Well, I guess they didn't program it, but why would the AI do that? What is the AI leading us to? What?
さてと、難しい話はそれぐらいにして、二人ともご飯を食べていってくれるよね。
That is very stupid. Are the AI really that autonomous now that we can't even directly control them at all? If so, then this is definitely not a world I want to live in. AI is basically God, yeah. Why the fuck would we want an actual God? I personally feel like I don't want to have an actual God in my world. But then again, I'm not really someone who is religious. What the fuck? This is a scary thing to think about.
ああ、ありがとう。ってまさかナノハが作ってくれるのか？
I mean, sure, it's a lot more scary to think that someone else could influence the AI, but having the AI be able to do whatever they want to is pretty scary, don't you think? I feel like there should be a council that, well, even if there was a council, it's gonna be corrupt in the first place anyway, but I don't know what's a good way to put some procedures so that we can, bypass the AI control. This is whoa, this world is messed up. I don't think I want to live in this world. What the fuck?
ここじゃちゃんとお野菜を切ったりお肉を焼いて料理が作れるんだよ。
I'm in awe. Sure, it's not uncommon for virtual spaces to have food that recreates the tastes and feelings of the real world, or real thing, but that's a step above. I think if I was in this game, I'd probably be anti-AI, yeah, considering how messed up it seems the internet is. I don't think I'd want to live in the internet at all.
調理される素材の過程を再現するのか。ものすごい処理能力を費やして手間のかかることをするんだな。
余計なことを再現するのが発想の醍醐味ってアキ先輩が言ってたよ。
飽きねえらしいな。
Anyway, virtual or not, I'll get to eat some of Nanoha's cooking now. The idea alone makes me salivate. All I have in real life is canned goods and rations, so I'm really excited to eat her wonderful food again.
よーし、じゃあ早速取り掛かりますか。
よかったら手伝ってあげて、レイン。
私がですか？
I'm gonna save my game because I don't know when the game is gonna mess up.
はい、もちろん喜んでお手伝いいたしますが。ありがとうレインさん。じゃあ一緒に来てくださいな。はい。
Rain and Nanoha enter the dorm. Rain's walking in a strange way. Does her leg hurt or something?
まあいいか。
I lie down in the garden and look up at the virtual sky. An endless blue dotted with white clouds. The wind passing carries the smell of vegetation. Enjoying the peace, I let myself space out. I'm not doing anything and nothing is happening. I've almost forgotten this type of calmness.
ちょっとレインさん、何をしているんですか？
I hear Nanoha shouting in the kitchen. So yeah, she's garbage at cooking.
これは切ってはいけませんでしたか？いいんですけど、肉をみじん切りにしなくても。っていうか、ちゃんと包丁使ってくださいよ。すみません。このナイフに慣れ親しんでいるので。
I mean, if you can cut it with the combat knife, sure, why not? It's sharp enough.
まな板まで千切りにしてどうするんですか？
なんだか大変そうだな。
Rain isn't good at cooking. That's kind of charming. Suddenly, I feel like someone's watching me.
誰だ？
It's an NPC. She's standing at the side of the road, looking directly at me. What's up with her? Looking at her sad expression fills me with an indescribable feeling.
コウさん。
Suddenly, Rain calls out to me from behind.
ああ、レイン。台所の方はいいのかい？
Is that NPC jealous of Rain? I'm still thinking that Rain is cool, guys. I'm still thinking that, okay?
はい。台所を追い出されてしまいました。
They're just making so many comparisons to how it was when we saw that flashback with Sora. I turn around again and see that the NPC is gone. What was that all about?
どうかされましたか？コウさん。
いや、
Oh, sorry about that, Rain.
それよりレインってひょっとして料理が苦手だったりするのか？
今となっては花嫁修行を拒絶していたのが悔やまれます。
花嫁修行を拒絶？
結婚なんて愛せない男性に生涯奴隷として仕えること。少女時代の私はそう思い込んでいたのです。
I don't understand her circumstances, but I can tell that it's related to her family. I guess when you're rich, sometimes that does happen.
結婚だけが人生じゃないし、綺麗な花嫁になれなくたって人の価値には関係ないさ。
True enough, Ko?
そうでしょうけど、それでも菜の葉さんを見ていると身につまされるものを感じてしまいます。
Is not being able to cook a flaw? I guess it is. Because cooking is really good, or it's a good skill to have. She makes a slightly troubled expression. It's rare for her to look sulky.
注意。
いや、なんでもないよ。
As I smile back to Rain, or at Rain,
ご飯が炊けたよ。
that was quick. Nanoha calls for us from the dorm.
行きましょうか、コウさん。
あ、そうだな。
Maybe because this is virtual, she doesn't need that much time? It only took like maybe 15 minutes.
ああ、ごちそうさま。
I don't know. What is the principle behind this world? If the AI is acting as God, shouldn't everything that happened in this world reflect what should happen from the real world, you know? So I don't think it's because we're in virtual reality that she's able to cook this fast. I don't know, maybe they didn't think too much about it and just wanted to get to the next scene. Once done eating, I sigh in satisfaction.
ごめんね、大したごちそうを用意できなくて。
いや、うまかったよ。こんなうまい飯を久々に食った。
Or maybe she just made something very quick and simple. And I'm not just being nice there. It was a delicious meal of miso soup, steak, and boiled spinach. I haven't eaten such a homely meal in a long time. Miso soup is pretty simple, but that's probably still gonna take maybe about 20 minutes, you know, just to let the stock simmer in, or, you know, or not the stock simmer in, but, you know, like, let the stock permeate into the soup. Steak? I guess steak doesn't really take a long time to cook too. Boiled spinach is very easy. Yeah, I guess you can probably make this in about 15-20 minutes.
本当ですね。菜の葉さんは料理の才能がありますね。それほどでも、これでリアルまで満腹感を持っていければいいですけど。
Smiling bashfully, Nonoha starts cleaning up the dishes. Of course it's not gonna work like that. The internet is still the internet. We're not gonna be eating anything. We're eating data. Unless I don't think that's how it works. I don't think the data that we ate is gonna translate to actually food, right? But Rain stops her. Because we're not just data beings. We have a physical body.
後片付けは私にさせてください。結局何もお手伝いできませんでしたし。でもそれじゃあ大丈夫ですよ。皿洗いくらいなら多分私にもできますから。じゃあお言葉に甘えて。レインさんよろしくお願いしますね。それじゃあゴー、ちょっと外散歩に行こう。
ああ、わかった。
不思議だよね。このまま歩いていけば学園にたどり着けそうな気がするのにね。
そうか。さすがに学園そのものは再現されていないんだな。
We walk the familiar path to school.
誰もいないグラウンドって寂しいよね。
そうだな。
We stop in place and look at the barren sports grounds. It reminds me of how Chinatsu used to run around here. It feels like it happened both recently and a long time ago.
そういえばこの前千夏に会ったよ。
え、千夏先輩に？
ああ、シティの通りでばったりね。
It's hard to tell her that it was during a riot.
懐かしいな。そっか、先輩シティにいたんだ。ね、千夏先輩元気そうにしてた？
ああ、多分長話する暇がなかったから詳しいことはわからないけど。
I remember our encounter. I somehow felt like she was avoiding me. I can't put my finger on it, but she was different somehow. What happened to her? I'm actually really concerned, but she probably joined up with Gilbert, I'm guessing. There was that talk with Gilbert about how maybe killing Ko would make her, or make her change her mind or whatever, right? I assume he was talking about Chinatsu. I guess she didn't expect to see us there.
千夏先輩もここに来られればいいのに。私も千夏先輩に会いたいな。
Looking at Nanoha's smile renders me unable to say anything. Suddenly, Aki calls me.
ごめん。
何かあったの、アキネ？
仕事山積み。そっちに帰れるの夜になりそう。
そうなんだ。仕事じゃ仕方がないよね。
なんなら今話を聞くけれど。
いや、またの機会にしよう。それじゃあ仕事頑張って。
頑張れ。
Once we're done talking, Aki's form vanishes.
アキ先輩から？
うん。今日は忙しくて夜にならないと戻れないって。
そうなんだ。そういえばこう先輩に何か話があるとか言ってたよね。
まあな。
Maybe Nanoha knows something about Sora and Makoto.
なあ、 なのは、空と誠ちゃんどうしてるか知ってるか？
ごめんね。
She hangs her head. Oh, so she doesn't know either. It looks like she'll cry if I ask anything more.
いや、知らないならいいんだ。
Considering everyone's expressions when you ask about them, Ko, it's so stupid to think that you still think that they're alive. There's optimistic and then there's just being a retard, Ko. She rubs her eyes, looks up, and stares at me without blinking.
ごめんね。何も言えなくて。ただ、こう、一つだけ分かって。きっと、こうも分かってると思うけど、灰色のクリスマスで、みんな辛い目に遭っているんだ。こうもいつかは思い出しちゃうのかもしれない。けれど、無理に思い出そうとしなくてもいいんじゃないかな。
I don't have to force myself to remember. This isn't the first time someone told me that. Did I forget something really important?
大事なのは過去より未来だよ。だからそのね。
I mean, I agree that the future is more important than the past, but there must be something very important in the past too, though, to make me move forward toward the future, right? At least the future that I want to achieve. If I just think about the future without having anything to aim for it, isn't that a bit sad too? Because that's how I've been living so far. I mean, I'm still looking at the future, but it's not as if I know what I'm looking for in the future, you know? But if you have something that makes you want to do something in the future in the past, then I think, like, for Ko, I think it's important. For me, I really don't think anything in my past is worth looking into. I know what she's getting at, but
逃げてても記憶は戻ってきちゃうと思うんだ。
that's why I have to be clear.
それに俺自身やっぱりどうしても思い出したいんだ。たとえ辛くても俺は知らなきゃならないんだよ。
そうだよね。大切なことを忘れたままでいるなんて誰だって耐えられないよね。
She mutters and grasps my hand.
こう、いい？この先こうにはきっと支えてくれる人が必要になると思う。
Not necessarily. I wouldn't say so.
だからレインさんを大切にしてあげてね。きっとあの人ならずっとそばにいてくれるから。
This is also one thing that I realized, guys, after playing so many of these Gal games. There are no routes in any game, I feel like, that makes you just be alone. I get it that, you know, like, these games are meant for guys, usually, to experience bonds and whatever. But I really do think that having a story where the main character, like, can learn from everyone around them instead of having someone as a pillar of support is going to be a pretty amazing story, I feel. Because that's how I feel, you know? Right? I know I'm kind of projecting my own, like, wants into a game, right? But I do feel like a lot of games kind of force you into having a pillar of support or something, which I really do not think that most people really need. Well, I don't know if it's most people, but I personally don't think, like, I need it to become happy, you know? Why is she also saying something like that?
何かあったらこうをよろしくってすごく真剣な顔でお願いされちゃった。
レインがそんなことを？
うん。でもね、私はずっとこうのそばにはいてあげられないかもしれない。だから。
なのは。
だから、大丈夫。何かあってもきっとレインさんがそばにいてくれる。たとえ今は彼女じゃなくたって。もう戻ろう。あまりレインさんを待たせちゃかわいそうだから。
Once past the entrance, I hear Rain giggle.
お客さんかな？
みたいだな。
There's a pair of men's shoes here. The way they're thrown here is familiar. It's probably Masa.
それで君、確か俺と学園時代に会ったことがあったよね。
もう冗談ばかり。
That voice is familiar.
いや、これは本当。俺、君みたいな美人の顔なら忘れない自信があるし。おいお前、いきなり人の同僚を口説いているんじゃないぞ。ね。
He turns around, showing his familiar face to me.
おお、ようこ、久しぶり。元気だったか。まさ、お前こそ。
We run up to each other.
男同士で感激のハグは勘弁って言おうとしたのにな。
He hugs me even harder.
って痛い。こら、お前力入れすぎ。そういうお前こそしばらく見ない間にたくましくなりやがって。
The hug becomes a grapple. Masa's been working out. He's way tougher than he was in school.
マサ先輩、お久しぶりです。
こんにちは、ナノハちゃん。ああ、こいつが来てるって聞いたって。
Replying to her, he skillfully trips my leg. I'm guessing everyone here except for us are not really into like political stuff or have, you know, something like an emergency that they need to do. Like, I also feel like even though we're a mercenary technically right now, we're kind of playing hooky a bit too much. I feel like we should be researching more information about the Drexler Institute and also those counselors right now rather than talking to these guys, but you know, I fall on the floor.
その様子じゃ元気らしいな。
That's why I felt like it was a bit presumptuous of us to just say we're gonna be here again tomorrow to Nanoha in the last episode. We slap each other's shoulders and laugh for no reason.
それにしてもお前、しばらく見ないと思ったらあんな美人を引っ掛けていやがったのか。
聞こえているんですけど。
まったくどいつもこいつも同じことを言いやがって。レインとは単なる戦友で、それがこうの手口なんだよな。単なる女友達とか幼馴染と言いながら千夏や菜の葉ちゃんを泣かせてたし。
マサ先輩。
俺が千夏と菜の葉を泣かせたって。おいおい、そりゃ一体どういうことだ。そりゃだって最終的にお前は。
Masa is cut off by both Rain and Nanoha.
須藤さん、お話が。
So, does Rain know about Sora or no? Because it kind of seems like she knows, but at the same time, why is she not surprised about, you know, Ku's NPC or Sora's NPC model?
ちょっと
先輩、いいからちょっと来てください。
Not giving him a chance to refuse, they drag him away. They close the sliding door.
一体何事だ。
And Ko, you're so retarded, man. We already saw that flashback like a long time ago, a couple of chapters back. We should know that she's dead.
いや、すまん。待たせたな、こう。どうも話が長くなっちまってさ。
Or I guess we don't know whether or not she's dead, but I'm the type of person that always thinks in the worst possible case scenario first, guys, right? So I would think that, well, maybe not everyone thinks that way, so I can't really blame him if he does think in a different direction, but still.
おいおい、そんなに怒るなよ。確かにお前をほったらかしですまなかったけど。マサ、ちょっと話が。ほう。
Masa is perplexed at first, but then realizes something and turns serious.
じゃあ、表で話をするか。
Yeah, let's talk without the girls, Masa.
しかし、なんだこう。久々に会ったのに、その仏頂面は。俺もお前に会えて嬉しいよ。お前が CDF の刑事じゃなければな。
How does he know? After a few seconds of silence, he asks.
どうしてそれが分かったんだ。さっき抱きつきながら俺の体を探ってたな。
I see.
おまけに話をしながら目が泳いでいた。データアクセスしていた証拠だ。 お前が寮に来るのを菜の葉すら知らなかった。お前の性格なら菜の葉や秋音に連絡するはずだ。それはつまり俺に対し予告なしで訪れたかった。そして俺を転ばせた技には逮捕術特有の癖があった。お前しばらく見ない間に鋭くなったな。
You should know that we were a mercenary, right? Yeah, I subconsciously realized Masa's true identity. My memory is full of holes, but my mercenary skills are still working.
で、刑事が俺に何の用なんだ。親友が訪ねてきちゃ悪いかよ。
He furrows his brow and slaps my shoulder. His expression becomes inquisitive.
お前、厄介事に巻き込まれているらしいな。
He coolly whispers that into my
俺
ear.
の置かれた状況について何か知っているんだ。まあな、個人的にいろいろ調べさせてもらったよ。
Just how much does he know? All I know for sure is that I'm a guy who did illegal battles and was at the scene of an assassination, among other things.
それで俺を逮捕しに来たのか。バカ野郎。だったら俺がわざわざ出向くもんか。おまけにここはアーバルシティ、シティ CDF の管轄外だ。お前は指名手配すらされていない。相変わらず公式には KIA 扱いされたままだ。だったらどうしてお前がここに来たんだ。
So I am assumed dead? I guess maybe that's why we're not really being chased around by too many people.
この先はリアルで話そう。
He lets go of my shoulder and sends me a memo. I open it and see a map to a bar in downtown Suzushiro.
時間は21時。一番奥の席で待っている。ああ、必ず行くよ。
Masa walks back to the dorm. Gotta be careful, Ko.
よかったですね。親友といさかいにならなくて。
I then hear a chant from Rain.
ああ、この先どうなるかわからないけど、そろそろ引き上げるか。今日は長居しすぎた。
Did we let her eavesdrop on us?
Yeah.
I arrive at an old building downtown and take the winding stairs down to an unpleasantly lit bar. I open the door and hear the noise from all the alcoholics here. The smoke and darkness here is giving it an air of statelessness. Statelessness?
おい、こっちだこっちだ。
Masa sees me and waves.
こんな店で密談をするのか。ここなら何を話しても大丈夫。こう見えてもここの売りはプライバシーの保証だからな。
It does look like it has perfect eavesdropping countermeasures. Even my line to Rain is cut. The voices of the other customers are made to sound like mere noise. Becoming less tense, I sit down next to Masa.
マサ、どうやって俺のところまでたどり着いた。お前が戦死したって傭兵組合から知らせがあった。お前と違って親友の現状はチェックしていたんだよ。
Unlike you. I like that.
そうか。すまん。
It looks like I was bad to not just Aki, but Masa too.
ああ、それでアキさんに話そうと思ってアキさんに会うべくアーバルシティに向かい、そこでお前が生きているのを知ったわけだ。そうか。安心しろ、誰にも言わない。が戦死を偽装するなんて一体何があったんだ。この件は上司に報告するつもりもない。だから俺には何があったか話してくれるよな。
Do I trust you enough to tell you everything, Masa?
分かったよ、マサ。
I give up and tell him the details. He's a friend and a CDF detective, so maybe he can give me some info
ド
too.
レクスラーの名の密造プラントの爆破か。
After hearing me out, Masa shakes his head.
ああ、それで俺は議員の誰かがこの件に関与しているんじゃないかと思うんだけど。関係していたらどうだって言うんだ。
Masa cuts me off.
命あってのものだねって知ってるか。フリーの傭兵のお前が政治家連中のスキャンダルを追いかけて何か得でもするのか。
I mean, we're probably after revenge, Masa.
追いかける理由がある。でも今のお前はそれも忘れてしまっているんだろ。
Mm-hmm.
偽装した選手報告、あれならもうバレてるぞ。お前らを探し出せと上からお達しが来ている。俺たちが指名手配されているのか。いや、容疑も教えられずとにかく探し出せと。 ない。
Ooh, sorry about that.
俺がお前の状況ならさっさとケツをまくってシティから逃げ出すけどな。それが賢いやり方かもしれないけど、あいにく俺はバカなんだ。そういうところは変わんねえよな、まったく。何はともあれ、お前が生きていてこうして一緒に酒が飲めて嬉しいぜ。お前が死ぬとは思ってなかった。なんせ灰色のクリスマスから生還した男だからな。
I mean, all of us did.
灰色のクリスマスか。あの日マサはどうしてたんだ？お前それも忘れちまってるのかよ。参ったな。
He cracks a wry smile and downs some of his drink.
俺は学園都市を離れていたんだ。随分遠出して
Oh, new sprite.
グングニールの射撃が降り注ぐ様をこの目ではっきり見ちまったんだ。
New sprite pose for Masa. I do think that he looks a lot better with his hair like this, rather than when he's usually, you know, when his face is like upright.
そうか。
His words make me remember the pillars of burning light piercing the earth. I was sure I saw that horrifying sight too. But in what kind of situation was I back then? What are you talking about? You were clearly looking for Sora in the area, the laboratory, wherever that was. Thinking about Great Christmas gives me the usual headache.
どうしたこう？いや、単なる頭痛だ。昔のことを考えてるとたまに頭がズキッと痛んで。そうか。なあ、マサ。灰色のクリスマス当日、俺が何をしていたのか知らないか？
Masa downs more of his drink and falls silent.
アキさんやナノハちゃんに口止めされているんだ。あまり昔のことを話さないでくれって。
Come on, you're my bro, Masa.
それでも尋ねられれば打ち負けるつもりだった。
Thanks, my boy.
お前は俺の親友だからな。
Yeah, they might have done that to, you know, think that the think or say that that's the best thing for me to not remember what happened, but
マサ、でも今お前の顔を見て気が変わった。
bro!
俺の顔がどうかしたのか？俺、お前に一度会っているんだよ。お前がシティに来たのを知ってわざわざ探して会いに行ったんだぜ。
Okay, I must have been very vengeful the last time I saw you.
もしかして俺、お前に何か無礼なことをしちゃったのか？いや、ただ何か俺を避けているみたいだった。それにえらく張り詰めた顔をしていやがってな。
I mean, I probably didn't know who to believe.
正直今のお前を見てるとホッとするよ。もし記憶が戻ってまたあんな傭兵面になるのなら記憶なんて。すまん、失言だった。忘れてくれ。いや、いいよ。ナノハも同じようなことを言ってたしな。
I must have been quite a piece of work when I was a merc. A bad enough guy to avoid meeting my best friend.
ナノハちゃんが何か言ってたのか？ああ、嫌な記憶を無理に思い出す必要なんかないんじゃないかって。そりゃ言うだろうさ。アキさんだって本心ではそう思ってるに違いないさ。
I mean, I get that all these guys care about me, but I don't know. Them forcing their opinions on me doesn't sit right with me.
そうか。ナノハちゃんがあんなに明るくはしゃいでいるのは灰色のクリスマスイブでは初めて見たよ。アキさんも顔色が明るくなった。お前がいない間、あの人がどんな。すまん、どうも酔っているみたいだな。どうしてこうも言わなくていいことを言っちゃうのかね、俺は。いや、気にするな。お前は俺にとって貴重な助言者だったから。
Done drinking, we both stand up. God damn it, Masa. We walk out and are greeted by Odorous. Odorous? Cold air that cools my body.
ちゃんと一人で帰れるか？この街はやたら物騒だから気をつけろよ。ありがとう。って子供じゃないんだから。お前こそ一人で大丈夫か？ああ、俺は出迎えのタクシーが来ているから大丈夫。
I hope you don't die quickly, Masa. Masa points at a patrol car with its lights on.
じゃあな、こう。今度飲むときはもっと明るい話をしようぜ。 あ、そうだな。
Masa walks toward the patrol car.
最後に会った時、お前はある人物について俺に尋ねてきた。
He stops and turns around to mention one last thing.
ある人物。阿南義雄だ。阿南？大したことは教えてやれなかったがな。それでもお前が疑ってた政治家ってのはそいつのことだろう。どうしてそんなことを？もう諦めて事件から手を引けなんて言っても諦める気はないんだろ。じゃあな、絶対に死ぬんじゃないぞ。
迎えに来ました、コウさん。
ああ、ご苦労さん。
何か収穫はありましたか？
いろいろあるが、まずはレインのしてくれた偽装工作、偽の KIA がバレたみたいだ。
発覚するのも時間の問題でした。
マサの話からすれば公式に指名手配されることはないと思うけど。
Why would we be wanted criminals? I guess because that Drexler Institute nanomachine place was part of the scandal that was with Yoshio Anan. So technically, I guess we were being terrorists by raiding that place.
それでも多少動きにくくなったわけだな。
そうですね。
We're walking through the night slums.
やっぱり友達って重要ですね。
She says that out of nowhere.
なんだいきなり。
最近コウさんの顔色が明るくて見ていると正直ホッとします。
そんなに俺の表情って変わっているのか？
Most likely.
ええ、
She nods, and I remember Masa's words.
傭兵時代の俺って友達が少なかったのか？
はい、まあ友達など作ってもいつ死に別れるかわからないと。
True, and you might not even know whether or not they're trustworthy.
随分とニヒリズムに酔っていたんだな、俺。
I don't know, that's pretty realistic to me.
でもそう言いたくなる気持ちもわかる気がします。
Rain sighs and looks up at the cloudy sky.
たくさん死に別れましたから、私もコウさんも。
I suddenly remember the nameless soldiers who died in that underground tunnel.
コウさん、一つお願いがあります。
なんだ？
私に何かあったらこのシティを脱出し事件から身を引いてください。
Why would I do that?
どうしたんだいきなりそんな。
万が一のことを話しているのです。約束してくれますね。
Nope. She looks at me, waiting for an answer. But
ダメだね。そんなこと約束なんかできっこない。
そんな、どうして？私がいなくてももうコウさんは大丈夫なはずです。アークはコウさんを保護してくれるでしょうし、アーバルシティにはコウさんにとって大切な人が生きています。
そういえばナノハに俺をよろしくとか言ったらしいな。
ええ、周囲には心の支えになってくれる人が必要ですから。
Rain's words seem even colder than usual.
今さら何を言うんだよ。今だって十分にレインが支えになってくれてるさ。
私は別に周囲に恩を感じておりますし、慕ってもいました。けれどそれはただ。
Rain's refusing to listen. She's still suffering somehow, bearing some sort of pain that she's hiding from me.
ただなんだって言うんだよ。まさかまた部下だからとか任務だからとかそんなことを言うんじゃないだろうな。
She doesn't say anything. Rain's focusing her all on just supporting me. And that makes me really sad.
俺が信じられないのか？レインをこれ以上不安にさせる気はない。迷惑だと感じているなら言ってくれていいけど、本当のことを話してはくれないのか？
Not having your memory sure is making all these relationships difficult, Kel. That's what I realize. Maybe if I were an amnesiac, I'd just cut ties with everyone that I had memories with, and just live a life, truly alone. Or not truly alone, but, making like a new life, right? I guess you can't really cut ties with your family, but I think with my friends and stuff, you can truly cut ties though. Because as I said, when you're like an amnesiac, I don't really think that's me anymore. But what can I even do as I am now? All I can really do for Rain is just regain my lost self.
悪かった、レイン。聞き流してくれ。
いえ、急ぎましょう。雨が降りそうですから。
ああ。
Without another word between us, we hurry on through the night. Oh, that's a pretty short chapter too. And no fight in that chapter. Interesting. I really should have saved before the end chapter there. That was like 30 minutes. 35 minutes.
Kadokura-kun.
Naoki? The light is so dazzling. I open my eyes and see a square window shining bright. Another flashback.
門倉君、私の特別講習で居眠りとはいい度胸だね。
いえ、寝てませんよ。
まあ気持ちはわかるが、学業も大切だ。あまりにこんなことが続くと当面アリーナは禁止だな。
そんな殺生な。真面目にやりますから勘弁してください。
よろしい。担任の藤森先生が嘆かれていたぞ。今日は基礎の基礎からやり直すからな。覚悟しておきたまえ。
Today we have a special lecture, which is more like a supplementary lesson. I have Mr. Korihara teaching me, yet I'm here half asleep. I gotta take this seriously. I look over and see Masa. He's staring at me with worried eyes, his neurojack already plugged in. I nod and look at the monitor. Mr. Korihara has a needlessly good voice. And as I listen to him, I start to become sleepy again.
なんだこう、寝不足か。
Masa shakes my shoulders to prevent me from sleeping. Right, I'm in the middle of an afternoon lesson.
眠いのは俺もお前もお互い様だろ。まあな。夕べは興奮してなかなか寝つけなかったもんな。その分授業中寝てれば世話ないけどな。
I mean, I kinda sleep in class quite a lot. Only on specific lessons, though. We look at each other and grin. It's hard to fault us, though. Tomorrow's the beginning of Newbie's Impact, the Simulacrum Rookie Arena Tournament. We've waited for it for too long. Oh, this is a back... the pacing is going backwards, I see. We got the members in spring and quickly applied for a place in a tourney. We then went to be examined, went through the selection process, and were admitted in. A lot of time has passed since then.
けど、ようやく俺たちも実力を思う存分発揮できるわけだな。
I'm guessing this is gonna be a lot of filler in this flashback. God damn it.
ああ、そのために相当練習してきたからな。今なら誰と戦っても負ける気がしないぜ。同感だが、油断して足元を救われるんじゃないぞ、相棒。
Yeah, we're really excited about this tourney.
ほら、君たち。
やべ、睨まれた。
I quickly turned back to the table and tried to pay attention without falling asleep.
ナノマシンの実用化は産業のあらゆる分野に革命をもたらし、今もその革命は進行中と言えるだろう。例えばナノ技術で生まれた医薬品は多くの難病に対する特効薬となり、大半の外科手術を過去のものとした。ではなぜそんな便利なナノマシンに厳重な規制がされているのか。門倉君。
ああ、はい。ナノマシンは麻薬にも兵器にもなり得る危険性が存在するからです。
そう。例えば特定の人種だけを選択して虚勢したり、いかなる細菌兵器より効率的に生物を殺傷する兵器すら作り出すことができる。我々に課せられた課題はいかに正しく安全にこのテクノロジーを運用するかであり。
That's when the long-awaited bell rings out in the classroom.
それでは続きはまた来週だ。今日講義した箇所はしっかり覚えておくように。メモリーに頼らずちゃんと脳で覚えなさい。
はい、先生。
返事だけはいいな。あ、そうそう。それと明日からの大会頑張りたまえ。応援してるよ。
ありがとうございます。
Masa and I give him a deep bow, then run out of the classroom. Okay, that was actually short. I did not expect that to be that quick. A splitting headache wakes me up and I open my eyes to see the white walls of the clinic. That was actually super short. I really did not expect the flashback to be that quick. I really thought we were gonna be at least going till the, beginning of the tourney.
また何かが心に引っかかったようだな。
ええ、 まあ
I've been undergoing treatment to conquer my trauma since morning. But like always, I got an irregular headache and my memory is still full of holes.
今日はこれぐらいにしておこう。待っていろ。今コーヒーを入れてやるから。
Noi leaves, dragging her lab coat behind her, while Rain enters the room and approaches me.
お帰りなさいませ、コウさん。
ああただいま。
I feel so awkward that I can't even look her in the face. We haven't talked once since that moment last night.
ほら飲め。頭がシャッキリとするぞ。
Noi presents me a beaker with a black liquid inside.
いただきます。
I take a sip of the bitter liquid and my head clears instantly. She probably put something inside it.
コウさん、
Rain whispers via chant.
昨日はすみませんでした。
いや俺こそ悪かった。もう気にしないでくれ。
コウさんの方はどうですか？まだ何も気にせず私を信頼してくれますか？
I look up to see her face, which is painfully serious. I know what she's getting at. If our trust-based relationship collapses, it'll become difficult for us to stand side by side on the battlefield. If that happened, it'd be too dangerous to try and find out the dark truth.
もちろんだ。俺たちの関係に何も変わりはないだろ。
そう言っていただけると助かります。
Yeah, at this point, I do trust Rain quite a lot because there are like multiple instances where she can just like outright kill us and she did not. Yeah, our relationship is the same as it was. Comrades in arms, colleagues, superior and subordinate. Nothing more, nothing less. That's what I think anyway. What I need to believe.
そうそう。報告し損ねてたけど、昨日マサから興味深い話を聞いたんだ。意見を聞かせてくれるか。
いや、
I mentally prepare myself and tell Rain what I heard.
記憶を失う以前のコウさんがアナン市長の身元を探っていたですか？
ああ、だから情報屋の言ってた議員もアナンじゃないかと思うんだ。それなら米内暗殺の件にもつながるように思う。
問題はそのつながりがどんなものかということですね。
Rain places her finger on her lip and takes to thinking.
君たち、私をのけ者にして恋人同士の語らいか？
Noi cuts in, looking pretty displeased.
違いますよ。そんな風に見えますか？
どうだかね。
She cracks an impish grin.
何がどうだかなんですか？
別に。私は人の血は喧嘩に首を突っ込むほど暇じゃないからな。
一体誰と誰が血は喧嘩など。
だから関心がないと言っているだろう。そんなことよりアナン市長について面白い話を聞いたのだが、聞きたいかね？
Feel like this is a bit too convenient. Rain and I look at each other.
どうして俺たちにそんな話を聞かせてくれるんです？
よくわからんが、君たちなら興味があるんじゃないかと思ってね。
She grins while making a circle with her index finger and thumb. I have a feeling that she's in contact with my dad a lot more than I think. Did she get some info from Fenrir? Seems like she's aware of what we're in the market for. And it won't be free.
おいくらですか？
さすが話が早い。君たちなら安くしておくが。
Is it really money that she's after? I really don't think so. Rain transfer her the desired credits and Noi clears her throat.
アナン市長のスキャンダルについて、神塚の間で面白い噂が流れているようだ。
What's a dilettantes? What the fuck is that word?
もしかして米内議員が暴露しようとしていたスキャンダルですか？
いや、多分違うと思う。無名都市の一角には会員制の秘密クラブが存在し、金持ちの神塚たちがいかがわしい遊戯にふけっているらしいが、アナン市長もその主要メンバーであり、さらにはクラブの運営にも口を出せる立場と噂されているようだ。
And where is that club?
そのクラブでは娼婦の電子体はもちろん、違法な NPC まで導入してありとあらゆる変態行為を追求していると聞く。
違法な NPC？
海賊版の NPC だ。最近は正規の NPC を改造した違法な愛玩用モデルが高価な値段で取引されているらしい。
I mean, I guess the average NPC would have some built-in security system that doesn't allow you to do that before. Okay. Noi sends me several pictures.
これは
The first one is displaying lots of men and women apparently having an orgy.
すごいなこれは。
I'm surprised that they actually did not have a CG for this. Another photo shows dressed girls, some of which look like Ko.
当局に押収された違法 NPC だ。著名メーカーの人気モデルの目白押しだな。
この子たちがつまりいやらしい目的で売り買いされているわけか。
They aren't original, just pirated copies. I understand that much, but it still makes me feel kind of disgusted.
NPC にもパテントが存在しますから、無許可で改造し販売するのは立派な犯罪行為です。
I mean, you can say that about a lot of programs in the world too, Rain, but pirated copies are very mainstream everywhere.
アナン市長は愛玩用の NPC がお気に入りで、秘密のハレムを仮想空間に所有しているとの噂もあるほどだ。
I see.
そりゃある意味政治家にとっては致命的なスキャンダルだな。
I mean, those are just NPCs though, who cares? I mean, yeah, they're illegal, but it's better than what's happening in the real world where people actually have real harems with, you know, underage children and bullshit. Sexual NPCs aren't illegal per se, but society looks down on those who use them, especially if they're pirated. Sex-related scandals are definitely bad for a politician's image, but
そのセクサロイドを作っている連中を締め上げれば何か面白い話が聞けるのか。
how is the matter of pirated NPCs related to my goal? Wait, hold on. If No is telling the truth,
先生のおっしゃることがゴシップでなければですが。
pirated NPCs, a secret nanoplant, both are cutting-edge tech that have connections to Anon. Maybe attacking the Anon-tied bootleggers will turn up some info on Drexler. The relation seems weak, but my instincts as a merc are telling me otherwise. This is something that Seishu would have never realized.
ところで君たち、ここにアナンに関わりがありそうな NPC 密造業者のアドレスがあるのだが、欲しいかね？
Too convenient. Noi makes another ring with her fingers and grins. I feel like we're being led around by our dad here. Anonymous city, huh? Okay, I think this is probably a good time for me to call it an episode, though. I think with the, first part of the recording, this should be about... Let's see, when did I start? I started over here. Yeah, it should be about... just about 2 hours, right? Yeah, just about, I think. Or maybe I could just go a bit longer. I'll go for about 10 more minutes. I guess we'll see. 10 more minutes. I was gonna stop, but I am pretty curious about what's gonna happen next. We leave the clinic and head to the nearest net cafe. The concrete room is full of narrow, coffin-like consoles. A strange smell assaults my nose. It's the reek of people who are diving for long periods of time without taking a bath.
こんなところから没入するのか？
長時間のダイブになるかもしれません。生命維持装置付きのコンソールが必要です。
I guess this is gonna be how it is in the future, guys. I mean, internet cafes are still very popular in Japan, but I guess this might be how it is in the future.
コンソール。趣味クラムを扱うときは可能な限りワイヤードでか。
I remember Mr. Kurihara saying something like that. I wonder what he's doing now.
空きのコンソールを見つけました。
Rain drags out a console and opens the coffin-like cover.
店員がいないみたいだけど、黙って使っていいのかな？
ご安心を。料金はノーチップ経由で口座から引き落とされますから。
Rain urges me to get in and I lie down in it. The urethane foam inside is slightly wet. Urethane foam? I search for a place to insert my neurojack and do just that.
それではあちらで合流しましょう。
She closes the iron door, making the inside of the console dimly light up. I close my eyes and entrust myself to the diving process. A short while after I appear in the ether, Rain's avatar manifests before me.
お待たせしました。
よし。じゃあ早速乗り込むか。
待ってください。軍服のままでは任務に差し支えがありますから。
Rain's clothes shine for a moment and quickly morph into something different. She then stands before me in her casual clothes. Why not also do that in real life, chick or girl? I guess we don't have any spare clothes in the real world. They make her look like a normal upper middle class girl.
そうだな。潜入するのに軍服姿じゃさすがにまずいよな。
I follow her lead and change into something different.
では参りましょうか。
That's our normal outfit in at school.
無名都市か。ここはどこを見ても変わり映えのしない場所だな。
Following the info Noise sold us, we arrive at this address.
表向きだけですよ。構造体に一歩入れば全くの別世界が広がって。
Rain says that when suddenly, some feminine moans make her lose her words.
今のは何なんだ一体。
I was like wondering where the moans were, but yeah, there is some in the background. I look around and see men and women having intercourse in one of the alleys. It's not just one group either. There's men and women of all ages all over the place, going at it with no care for anyone watching.
愛と快楽のフォーラムですね。
愛と何のフォーラムだって。
I stand in place dumbfounded.
コウさん、立ち止まらないで。
Rain grabs me by the arm and drags me off.
いってしかし違法な NPC 業者がこんなところに潜んでいるのか。
ええ、このフォーラムのテーマからすれば彼らがここを拠点にしているのは順当かと。
I mean, didn't we get the address from Noi? Rain just walks ahead, paying no heed to anything happening on the sides.
テーマって一体。
The further we walk, the more naked people we see.
無名都市は無数のフォーラムと呼ばれる構造体から構成され、それぞれのフォーラムが一つのテーマに基づき成立しています。
Yes, yes, 4chan, I know. Before I realize it, we are lightly running.
フォーラムでは24時間テーマに従い、議論と想像が繰り返されて。
議論と想像って。ああ、こら、俺に触るな。
Naked men and women reach out to us, clearly wanting us to join.
実に皆さん活発に発言を。
ねえお嬢さん、私と仮想の生殖器における実在性について肉体的な議論しない？
No?
いえ、結構ですから。
What, are you gonna be talking about fudas? We part the crowd, stepping on some as we haphazardly run forward. After jumping through a nearby door, I push my back to the wall and breathe heavily.
レイン、大丈夫か。
Rain's body is all sweaty and her cheeks all red. After seeing all those naked people, I can't help but be conscious of her feminine allure.
何もあんなに走る必要はなかったよな。
I'm pretty surprised we didn't see any, like, sprite of the, like, naked people. I guess this game kinda lacks budget in certain areas, because in Tokyo Necro, what I do gotta applaud them for is the amount of NPCs that they have sprites for. Sure, they weren't very detailed, but they were very nice. I do my best to look away from her. Suddenly, a familiar girl stands in front of me.
こんにちは、お客様。快楽のひとときはいかがですか？
こいつはまさか。
アーク社の NPC の海賊版ですね。
As we become perplexed, the pirate NPC gives us a doll-like smile and says,
当店ではお口での全身奉仕から前後中出しフィニッシュまでのフルコースをお客様の料金に合わせてご用意しております。
Ejaculation inside your preferred hole. This is so weird. I mean, I've played a lot of insane games, guys. There are those games where you actually put your dick inside of like someone's like already non-existent eye hole, and I'm like, what the fuck am I reading sometimes? Sometimes I question my sanity by reading those.
興味がない。あっちに行っててくれないか。
I know this is just a crappy clone, but I can't help getting mad. It feels like some dear part of me is being trampled on with a boot soaked in mud.
アブノーマルな思考がお好みですか？それでしたら SM からレイプに至るまで108種類のメニューを。
いい加減にしろ。いいからあっちに行っててくれ。
Rain cuts my words short by suddenly pushing the NPC down on the floor.
何をするつもりだ、レイン。
彼女からデータを抜き取り、製造元について調べてみます。
She reaches for the NPC's neck, searching for her neurojack.
お姉様、野外レイプは後払い料金生産だと割高に。
すまんレイ。その子を黙らせてくれ。
いや
The NPC becomes limp and stops moving like the doll she is. Looking at her makes my heart restless in the worst of ways. I take a deep breath. Man, this is just freaky.
製造元の詳細を探り出しました。
I mean, there's lots of weird things you can probably do in the virtual world.
OK。よくやった。
Leaving the frozen NPC, we head on forward. Okay, I think this is probably a good time for me to call it an episode. Before I don't know how long I'm gonna go for. Yeah, I think this is probably a good time for me to call it. Whew. Okay, tomorrow we'll be doing some more of this. No need to worry, guys. But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying this a lot. There's just a lot of things that I feel like, you know, are interesting in the story. Sure, the flashbacks are kind of annoying, but they have been very not annoying the past couple of episodes, so I really don't know what I consider annoying at this point. Maybe the fact that people are kind of making or forcing their opinions on us, as I said, about how it's better off that you don't know about the past, blah blah blah. Yeah, sure. I get it that they're kind of looking out for us, and maybe not knowing about the past makes us happier right now. But I don't know. They're not taking a look at what we want. They're forcing their ideals on us, right? And that's how... I really dislike that. I really dislike that in everything that happens. Or in every part of my life. I prefer to be upfront about what I want. And if they don't agree with it, then I don't care. I don't care. The thing that matters is always your own opinion first, right? But okay. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Sub if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these early access along with everything uncensored. Also, for people on YouTube or YouTube members, will also be getting these early access, but nothing uncensored though. Also, for people that are on YouTube that aren't on Patreon just yet, feel free to become a free member because that's going to be where I put first episode previews of future playthroughs. Okay, I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya!